Hello, everybody. My name is Francisco,
I'm Sophia Alcantar.
And I'm Alondra Barrientos.
and this is our Civics Project. As we explored the city while taking photos for a community map, we saw how lush and green Anaheim is. Whether it be at the parks, at the schools, or even Planned Parenthood, Anaheim is abundant with plants.
However, not all parts of Anaheim get the same treatment as downtown Anaheim does. There's one school in particular that does not have the same amount of green as we'd hoped, Loera High School, specifically the preschool area. This area seems to be drab and dreary compared to some of the preschools in our community. We wanted our preschool to reflect what our community looks like.
This is where our civics project comes into play. What we had in mind was to implement a raised garden bed. Adding this would not only improve the look of the preschool, but it would also add learning experiences for the children.
With the garden bed, children can watch the development of a plant's growth from seed while also learning how to take on responsibility. We also thought this would be a great subject to add to the ROP students' curriculum so they can have more hands-on work with the children. We had the chance to interview some of the students in the ROP class and they had valuable insight on our idea. Here's what they had to say.
What are your opinions on the appearance of a preschool?
I think the preschool looks pretty clean, but it looks very simple. That it isn't very appealing to kids.
How do you think adding a garden would impact the appearance of the preschool?
I think it would benefit them because it would add color and it wouldn't just be like cement.
Do you think that teaching children about the growth of plants would be a fun activity?
I think it would because it would get them intrigued and hands-on into the activities.
What are your opinions on the appearance of the preschool?
The inside of the preschool is it's nicely done. It's super colorful and bright for the kids, but the outside's a little plain and dull.
How do you think adding a garden would impact the appearance of the preschool?
I think adding a garden would make the preschool look a little bit more suitable for their age.
Do you think teaching children about the growth of plants would be a fun thing to do?
Yeah, I think the older kids would really enjoy learning about the plants and watching them grow over time. Maybe a fun project for them.
Personally, my opinions on the preschool is on the outside, the fence kind of looks sketchy, but on the inside of the classroom, it's pretty fun.
How do you think adding a garden would impact the appearance of the preschool?
I think it'll make it look way more cuter and more fun.
Do you think teaching children about the growth of plants would be a fun activity to do?
I think so. I mean, personally, from my experience, I had fun learning about it.
The interviews went very well, but the execution of our project hit a major roadblock. We went to the ROP teacher to pitch our garden bed idea, but were met with rejection. She was very supportive of the idea and agreed that the preschool could do with some extra color, but there were many concerns she had, and unfortunately denied our request to put in the raised garden bed. This was a huge letdown because we had had this idea for our project since the beginning of the second semester. Francisco had taken it upon himself to grow some flowers to add once the garden was built and implemented into the preschool.
Her rejection had now stopped us from continuing with our plan and has left the preschool gardenless, and it will continue to look like the little prison that it is. But not all is lost. The flowers that I grew are now currently planted in my front yard and will continue to grow throughout the summertime.
We also haven't completely given up hope though. Talking things out, we realized that the garden bed can be added onto campus, but just not in the preschool area. Next year, we'd like to pass on our project to a senior in the environmental club. The garden bed will be something that the club can make and implement into Loera.
This joint operation will be beneficial to both of the parties involved. The ROP class can still have the opportunity to teach the children about growing plants, and the kids will have something new and fun to do as an activity. The environmental club also gets some benefits as the members will get community service hours for helping put in work in maintaining the garden bed.
Because this garden will be used in the springtime, the bed can be moved out of the preschool area and into storage so that it does not take up any space in the area. It also keeps the garden bed safe from any bugs and weather that might damage the wood. Our hope is that the raised garden bed can be used every year and that the environmental club takes good care of this project.
In the end, the three of us had a lot of fun with this project. We never really went out and explored our city on our free time before and are glad that we did. We found many interesting things to learn about and got closer to each other as we spent more and more time together. We even got to go over to Francisco's house and meet his new kitten.
Even though times did get stressful and we worried that we would never finish this project and end up not graduating, we like knowing that we'll leave an impact on what happens in the school. If it doesn't happen before we leave Loera, our mark will be left here, even if the people we helped start this project with don't remember who we are.